Hello. Here we go again. So, uh, yeah, kind of got a few things going. I put in some cameras last night to and a football. The football I'm trying to fix because it's not showing its skin. I don't know why. I have the texture that's on there. I have no idea how people are doing these textures to get it to wrap around there like that. But basically, it takes this image and it wraps it around the football, and yeah, overall, it looks pretty good when it's functioning. Whatever. I had the same problem getting the skin on him too. It was like, um, it's like for a long time I didn't have any textures on him either because I couldn't figure out how to get it to go. And all of a sudden I dragged something somewhere and it worked. I had to redo it a couple of times. Um, I'm not sure how I'm going to get this to work on this guy though, because I've dragged the textures onto him a couple of times, but nothing seems to actually do anything. So um, I've even dragged the material. So basically, yeah, everything's kind of not working. I don't know why. Collect to show preview. I don't. It's kind of cool that this works, but normal map, occlusion, albedo is the one. Albedo is the one I want, but it doesn't show. Uh, and I'm not sure what I need to do. Oops. It's not fade. It's not transparent. Huh. I think last time I did this, it just magically fixed. I want to say, you click enough things enough times, and all of a sudden it goes, "Oh yeah, that's what you. Oh, are you trying to show the materials? Yeah, all you need to do is click a few more times. See how it turns like white and everything except the brown color it's supposed to be. So yeah, and if I go, it's got the mesh, and then what is this one? I have a couple of football ones. Football A, football whatever. Do you think any of these would do anything? Let's try this one. That one? Honestly, I didn't even know I had multiple football materials. Football A, football N, football mouse. But none of these seem to do anything. Now, I didn't have, is there like, material, football and material, which doesn't tell me anything. I don't even know what a football and material is. This one is football.mat. See, that one's like main map. is that weird color. That one's like purple. That one's the one I want, football A. But nothing seems to have an effect. I'm wondering if it has to do with my compiling. I have a compile problem going. So I wonder if it's like it's not able to re-render itself until you get all this stuff fixed. So I got to go back and that's what I'm going to... Let's focus on this for the moment. Let's see. I need class, issues. Call, get player, but the parameter names don't match. Let me fix that. It didn't actually fix that. It's just get player. Public API to access specific players. All right, so what is the problem? Public game object, get player, string, team ID, string, position code. The error is here, using position instead of position code. Oh. It's kind of funny though, because AI wrote this code. Now I'm just trying to debug his code. It's like, you're not supposed to write. You're not supposed to mess things up when you do your own code. All right, so that got me down to 16. Now let's do the next one. It says, I replace the call to non-existent load blah 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 method with a call to setup team method, which is a valid method in the team manager class. If setup team is not the intended method, you may need to clarify or implement the correct functionality in the team manager. Again, he didn't actually change anything. It says load model prefabs. There are a few models. So, and also it's not good at looking through the code. It's like, I don't know if it's the Unity or if it's the Copilot or what. Oh, and it's starting to do this again, where it's forcing me into a different language. I hate that. Really, it did actually have that. Game processing. Wait, I have game processing. I have 2 game processing? No. I don't know why it has a 1 here. Load model prefabs. Is there any form of that anywhere? I guess I'm just going to comment this out because I don't really know what that is. This is all like temporary code anyway. Oh. Whoa. Whoa. Weird. Never saw that before. What is that? All right, what do we got? Are we down to are we down to 15? Woo. So when you ask Copilot, it apparently switches from Claude. I didn't know it did that. And if you change it to Workspace, it'll also switch to Copilot or ChatGPT. Watch. Workspace, blah, ChatGPT. Gotta switch it back. And it's ChatGPT 4, which is like way it's several steps below all the other current ones as far as effectiveness. And back in fetch. But the team management only shows the relevant methods. Use the existing setup team method, the most likely fix. Team data, team ID. So we are going to get gamesession.teams back, and we're going to be able to do stuff with them. Okay, so yeah, that works. Now I don't know where this is. It doesn't really say. Change this guy to this guy. I do find myself looking for objects because it's doing so bad. Initialize team. Initialize team. Yep, okay, we're good. Just making sure it didn't like say, oh, this doesn't exist, and then just, oh, well, it's really because I didn't look. It has done that before, rest assured. All right, well, then there was 14. I'll address 3 reported issues in the play system class. So we got the play. It's not, wait, game. I don't have a, what do you mean the play system class? Where is play system class? It's making things up, man. I don't have a play system class. I have game processing. I don't know what your, oh, I see. Oh, I think I probably in, I probably do have a play system class, but I didn't change the name. That would be an oops on my part. So I gotta go over here. Oh, I actually thought I had a play system class. Nope, it says there's a play system here somewhere. Class. Haha, there it is. It's run game is the play system. No, it did this thing to me. I hate it when it does this. It it's doing the, oh, here's a tiny little thing, and here's a tiny little thing, and it gives me an entire class of objects, and I have to figure out every little thing it did. Well, I gotta go all the way through. I have to step through the entire code, which is gonna suck. I did schedule myself to go door dashing today, so we're going to a movie tonight, and I got to start making some money to, as piddly as it is, I want to see if I can make enough to take care of the camping trip this summer that we're going on. So it shouldn't be that much, some contribution, and at least pay for these little extra things that we do. That's kind of the goal. Hands are really dry. I swam today, and chlorine dries out your skin. Also makes you stink like chlorine for a day. No matter how much I scrub with the soap. I mean, every inch and nook and cranny of my skin, trying to soap it up and get that chlorine out. It's not as bad now. I do kind of make sure I get, but I'm always covered. Oh, is my shirt on inside out? What the heck, man? Be right back. Simple things like getting dressed. Some days, you just don't. These sleeves are kind of snug for pulling them all the way up, but I don't like them all the way down either. So, okay, back to it. I gotta go stepping through the code. It's probably good. I mean, in a sense, it'll help me to see how this is structured. So it's doing this dictionary create thing here. Actually a long line of stuff there. Dictionary, fixed speed controller, transform, player targets equals new. Okay. On play complete. See, other methods unchanged. Okay. And then it goes down to execute. So does that mean nothing else changed at all? I don't know what other methods unchanged, but it does go to execute step, and that's execute play, which is way more stuff than that says. Find player for this action, get controller, set movement target. We will get that. There's a lot of things in here. I'm like, I don't think that's... It's like it gave me, like I said, the setup for these items, but ultimately wait for players to reach positions. Don't know that I don't know what that's going to do. Oh, there's 2 execute. What the heck, man? Why are there 2 execute steps? Okay. Execute play. Oh, it's execute play, execute step. What is this called? Oh, this is execute step. Oh, God. Did it change anything? Or are these the things it says it didn't change? No, this has definitely changed. And weight. There's the weight. Wait for players to reach positions. Maximum seconds to wait. I'm just trying to get this to compile. Because I know all this stuff is going to be rewritten. It's going to change. I'm going to be going, let's go through here one piece at a time and actually make it work. Because I know this is not going to work. Grid to world. Because it doesn't even have the sample set. So it's just guessing what I'm going to provide. And there's no way it's guessing correctly. Guarantee it. Okay, let's go see what the air list shows now. It's only 10 now. Woohoo! One thing at a time. We're getting there. Maybe. We were at like 20 a little bit ago. So almost half. It was 18. So. And I don't know for sure that it's not introducing more. So there's that. And this class is run game. I should probably change this class. This class is going to be changed to run game. Because it is the run game class. It's going to run the game. Mage case, match whole system. And then we're going to go replace some files. We're going to change that to run game. Natural word, okay. Slide 3. Is that an error thing? I don't know what that is. Right. Where are we? Fixed speed controller. And that's this script right here. I'll have to fix the controller has to add the missing properties. Honestly, I may have let ChatGPT build this. And ChatGPT, like I said, makes a lot of mistakes. Oh wow, are we down to 2 errors? Woohoo! Lots of stuff got fixed there, okay. Oh, wait a minute. Now it says no errors. Never used, never used, never used, never used, never used, never used. Well, I'm not worried about the never used. That's not going to stop it from compiling. So let's go ahead and see if I can now attach to Unity, because that'll tell me if it's compiling. I'm going to go see King of Kings today, this afternoon. One of the reasons why I'm going out door dashing. Is it the worst job I've ever had in pay? Probably. Actually, it competes with the first real job. I had a paper route for 3 years. Is that a real job? Sure, I did it for 3 years. It was a long time. But I worked at Fred Meyer here in the Northwest for 3 years. And that was my first real job. And I actually worked for another company before that for a few weeks, and it was a real job, but I was getting paid like $5 or $6 an hour. It was pretty little, which DoorDash beats that. And then I started working at Fred Meyer, and I was getting paid like, it was a big bump. Like the company I was at, actually, when I got a job at Fred Meyer, he actually offered to pay me more, and he said he'll pay me 7, but unfortunately Fred Meyer offered 750. And the job I was working at, I had aspirations to work for that, do that kind of work, which was carpentry, building furniture and cabinets and that kind of thing. Also, my dad did it a lot. I thought it was cool. I built several things in high school and I enjoyed it. But this was a hot summer. It was summer. I don't know if it was a hot summer, but it was a hot where I had to work. And the job they kept making me do was wearing, I had to wear a gas mask. I went into this little hot room and I was spraying furniture. And I did that like all day. And it was gross and terrible. I was miserable in there. And I was like, I don't want to keep doing this. It was, I'm going to get paid more to go somewhere else. Nice air conditioned building, working at Fred Meyer. And I ended up working at Fred Meyer for a long time. And I got to be a department head, my first, responsibility thing of the auto department, which they don't have anymore. They don't have a automotive department anymore. I think they sell some automotive stuff, but it's not a whole department anymore. It's just an aisle. It was basically like a small Shucks or O'Reilly's or whatever. They had walls of stuff. Now they only have like one row of auto stuff, and just like they used to carry lumber and all that stuff too, and they don't carry any of that anymore either. Okay, so I'm fully compiled. So now I should be able to go in here and hit play. Variable M targets of game objects but it doesn't exist anymore. What? Object not set to an instance of an object. Unity editor game object. Missing reference exception. The variable M targets of game object inspector doesn't exist anymore. You probably need to reassign the M targets variable to game objects inspector. What is this? And how do I... What is this? Where is this? And how do I fix it? Game object inspector. What is a game object? I mean, this is the inspector, but which one? Which game object? It just says game object inspector doesn't exist anymore. The error you're seeing is a Unity editor error related to the inspector for game object. Yeah, I know that. It said that. This is an internal Unity editor error that occurs when a reference in the Unity inspector system has been broken. Properties related to prefab variants. Some internal state tracking objects selected. Common cause, breaking prefab connections. Manually deleting prefab files or breaking variant connections. How to fix it. Here are the steps to resolve this issue from simplest to more involved. Restart the Unity editor. Okay. All right, well, I guess we're going to start with the simplest. Let's save this. And I guess I'm just going to leave this open as is. Right. And we'll open it again. Kind of slow rebooting itself, huh? My watch is ready to go. Charged up. Should get another 4 or 5 days out of that. It used to be good for like 7, 8 days, but it's a couple years old now. Now my watch is got to be charged every 3 or 4 days. I do use it a lot, that's for sure. It's a fitness watch, a Garmin. What's nice is I've had it. Wait, was this one the one that was replaced? No, I bought this one on Amazon during their Prime days a while back. And then it's kind of interesting. It's nice. It looks good. I wish it was a little bit more. Well, the things I want will definitely kill the battery, and I'm sure that that's why they don't do a lot of the smartwatchy stuff. I mean, it does. I get notifications, and I have some basic audio controls and things like that. But okay, let's see what happens when I go here. So you can see my football is purple. Totally not right. I don't know what's going on. But let's make sure. Shouldn't be. Let's see what I haven't done. Well, it's let's see what happens. Oops, I need to select him. Oh, that's right. All right, let's go to the animator. Oh, you know what? It could be, like I said, I made a lot of changes. Really. I mean, I made a lot of changes. And it could be that the way it's set up now, why does my animator controller not show up anymore? There are 4 audio listeners in the scene. Please ensure there's always exactly 1 audio listener in the scene. What? I have audio listeners? I don't know what that is. Is that because of the cameras? All right, hold on. Gotta take this call. We get so many calls. Do you want to sell your house in Bothell? We'll pay you 10 cents on the dollar. It's like everybody's like, they all want to buy your house, but nobody wants to pay you what it's valued at. I mean, when they do that, if you put it on sale, you around here, it'll sell out, probably get 10% more than you put it up for. But if you try to sell it if these guys were calling you randomly, oh yeah, we can give you cash on the moment. You get you know, a quarter of what it's worth, but you get it. Yeah, no thanks. I have actually told them, like, give me XX, which is usually some value that's, 50% more than its current value. And they just go, what? Don't be crazy, man. We can't afford that. It's like, oh, well, then you don't want to buy it. Why are you calling me? Bye. Sometimes I don't want to waste my time because I know they're going to. Let's address all the issues you've highlighted across the code base. Wait, I didn't highlight any others. I just want this one fixed. What? Did I highlight it? I didn't highlight any other issues. I just said I want to deal with the audio listeners. What are you talking about? I don't even know where the play renderer class is because apparently I changed its name. Like, why do you keep changing the names of the files and then the classes inside of a file? And then I have to change all my classes. Okay, so we're going to go Control Shift F. I didn't even know I had an issue with that one, thank you, but guess we'll go look at it. Play renderer. That's only one place. Route steps processing. Yeah, I guess it could be called that. Which is kind of interesting because I think play renderer is better because my route steps or execute steps isn't even in this class. This is Ariano. Oh no. Now what is what nonsense are you throwing at me now? Okay, so what is this? And this one is the one that's going to go away, I think. What did I just... Huh. That was weird. Okay. Gunman steps up, asks your religion, and then kaboom. Oh, yeah. That happened in Columbine. Columbine here in the U.S. that happened. I think that was, what was that? Was that Colorado? I don't remember, but it was a big deal. It was a school shooting. They started asking the gunmen or the kids who were shooting people started asking the kids if what their religion was or if they believed in God or whatever, and several of the kids said yes, and they shot them. And yeah, and some of them knew that they were going to get shot when they said it. They just said, yeah, even though the previous person who said it got shot, they went up there and believed. That's true faith. You're gonna stand up before evil, and you're gonna stand up and say who you are. And if you have the faith, you stand up, you say it, and yeah, that happens. It's terrible, rotten people out there. Lots of evil in the world. Lots of evil in the world, and just gotta pray that you'll have the strength to confront it when the time comes, if you're so unlucky as to have to. Alright, so where is my animator? Why is my animator not showing up? Oh, it is showing up. It's just not on the screen. What the heck? Why are you over there? Hiding. Why are you hiding from me? Why is it so far off the screen? Huh. But I expected this to actually why is my animator not working? Are my parameters still there? Yeah, everything's still there. The greatest revenge is to live well. That's what the families should do. It's all you can do, yeah. Stand up. Face your adversaries, your enemy adversaries. Okay, so my guy is sitting there. I am in the right mode. And when I click forward, nothing happens. Why is my manual adjustments not working right now? Now, it could be simply that it's turned off because I implemented a bunch of other stuff, but I was supposed to. That's a lizard? It is a lizard. I have to turn him sideways, though. You can see him better. He's a lizard man. He's not a lizard, he's a lizard man. But, you know, they have to be man because that's the only way they're going to be able to play football. I got to change my camera is what I got to do here. Let's see. What are these displays? Display 2, no cameras rendering. What are they? Oh, I got it. Oh, I see. I got to change these cameras. Oh, huh. Interesting. I got to figure out how to do that. If I could set those cameras, that'll be way easier. How do I adjust to get my other cameras? Why do you keep switching? Thing. How do I change cameras in game view in Unity? Hey Nintendo, what's the latest? Well, that's not what I was going for. I'm going for realism as in the way the game plays. I'm not going to have super high AAA graphics. No, I'm going for game realism, not people realism. I would be working at it for 10 years before I got that. And it's not a pitch. See, that if you're going to start throwing soccer terms at me, the NFL does not do pitches. They also don't do what do they call them? Friendlies. None of that nonsense. That's just because it's a fantasy setup. I've decided I don't want to be like every other non-licensed football game is just a bunch of faces of random people that just look like random people. So I decided, what the heck, man, I'm going to let the characters be based on their mascot. And the mascot is based on NFL teams. So they're anagrams, though. So like the lizards, I don't know which team they are. But it's not, it's just regular football. It's just that you're going to be playing with different characters. And Honestly, the amount of time it takes to create characters, and I don't know what it's going to take for memory and load, it sounds like it could be pretty heavy on the game system. And there is the possibility that I have to change to human. Don't, I know it sucks. It hurts. But I might have to change to human. The Cleveland Browns, they are. Actually, you know what? Who are the Browns? Uh, let's see. Who did I set them up. Let me see if I could remember who they are. The Cleveland Browns. It's an anagram, obviously, like I said. So, who are they? Let's see if I can figure it out by looking at them. If I can remember. No, because these don't have the city names. The city names are part of the anagram, so I have to go. I have to go to the. Is this one? All right, so the Cleveland Browns, somewhere. There they are. Oh yeah, they're the Denver Clown Labs. They're the ones I keep trying to figure out how I can't get an image for Clown Labs. So I may have to come up with a different I don't like the Clown Labs that I have. And AI doesn't know what to do with that. So I'm thinking that might be one I have to change to. These are the Clown Labs. They look like clown werewolves. Were-clowns. That's what they should be called, the were-clowns. Yeah, no kidding. No, I'm already gonna get a lot of hate, I'm sure, for the fact that I'm building all my images out of AI. There's a lot of people, you can't use AI images. You're putting artists out of work. It's like, I'm only putting them out of work if I could otherwise afford to pay them. Since I can't afford to pay them, they're not out of work. They weren't going to get that work anyway. It's not like I could have paid them if I wanted to. So, someday maybe I'll start, I can afford to get real artists. I don't even know what that is, man. You can't. Cheap is not. Even cheap is expensive. Because, all right, I have worked with cheap artists before. Guys that'll do things for $30, $40. They are flaky. The work isn't that good. In fact, I had one person. Get this. I had a person who had the nerve. The nerve to try to get me to update my stream, and they said, "Oh, I'll do something for you for $100 or $80, and then if you like it, you can pay me the other 20." And I said, "You know what? I'll give you a shot." Now this wasn't right now. This was before when I had some money, and I said, "Sure, I'll give you a shot." I kind of liked some of the thing that she showed me. It took her like 3 weeks, and she sends me an image. I guarantee was done with AI. It looked exactly like something I had generated or close to something I had generated using AI. It didn't even look good. It wasn't even good AI. It was just like this 2D blah. And I even told her, I go, "You did this with AI, didn't you?" She's like, "No." It's like, "Yes, you did." And I'm like, this is not good. So I was like, nah, I'm not doing that no more. So cheap artists, I know there's a lot of really good, talented people out there, and you get some nice, unique stuff, and you get them in the pose and the forms that you really want, and it's it's ideal if you can work with somebody to do your modeling for you. It's like this stance here, this one the Clown Lab is in, and this guy, these are perfect for 3D models because these guys are like already, they got their hands to their sides. There's no extra objects on them. It'll be real easy to animate them and get the, I can put them in these 3D tools and stuff that can, they'll easily figure these guys out because they're very basic. They don't have any oddball things going on. But do something like this guy who's also in a pretty good stance, but he's got wings. This guy's really cool. He's a crab bat, by the way. That guy's really cool. I didn't realize how cool he was. And then I have to do things like, see, here's part of the problem. When it is, I thought it was in Africa. I thought Timbuktu was in Africa. Oh no. Yeah, it's kind of like, isn't it by Madagascar? Geez, I guess not. I could have swore it was over by Madagascar. That was like one of those little islands out there. Oh well, maybe. I guess I don't know. What do I know? Apparently nothing. But the Clown Labs, I don't know. It's not working. I'll have to change that one up. Oh, it is in Africa. Oh, Mali. Why is I thinking of Mali? So it is in West Africa. Okay. So I was right. I don't even know. I didn't know Mali. So Timbuktu is a city in a country in Africa. So I was right. Okay. But I have to do, one of the things that's going to also make doing these guys very hard is I have to do meshes for their uniforms, because they can't use the uniforms that's on them. They'd all look totally different. They need to have the colors of their team. So I'm going to have to do like meshes. And the problem is these guys are all shaped a little different, which means I got to create a mesh for every model so that I can change their colors on their uniforms. And so I got to create meshes for their gear. I got to create, that's going to take really long. Yeah, most places only have soccer, unfortunately. Most countries only have soccer. Unless you're, there's a few countries out there that have football, American football-ish. But most, you see rugby in some areas around the world. Europe used to have, the NFL actually had a Euro League at one time, but I think it kind of died. And now the only football Europe has right now, I think, is when the NFL sends teams over there to go play. Last year, I think they sent 3 games over there, which is a lot. That's a lot of traveling for teams. And this is the problem with the NFL wants to go international, right? They want to have teams everywhere. They want to have Canadian teams, but but Canada has, Canadian football. They have football, which is like American football. But they're the only ones, I think, that have a league. I don't know what the R means, but some do. Some get the concussions or whatever you call it. What do they call that? Something syndrome, concussion syndrome or something like that. And it's common for guys a lot of times it's common for defensive players or people in the trenches a lot. They tend to have that kind of brain injury quite a bit more than some. Their NFL keeps trying to revamp their helmets to make them more and more and more secure. I don't know if you've seen some of the helmets they have nowadays on some players. They're huge. tell you, these guys look like bobbleheads out there. There's a couple of guys out there wearing these helmets that are gargantuan on their heads, and I'm like, is that normal? They're wearing these massive helmets, and they're supposed to be safer, but it's like a lot of players don't want to wear those because they look stupid. which is it's like, hey, it's your life, man. It's, do you want to have, your full faculties when you're old, or when you retire? But I can also imagine that it's kind of hard on the head. It's a lot of weight. You got this big old weighty helmet that you're you're kind of lifting all the time. Yeah, it's the XFL, which is now mixed with the USFL, which is now combined, and they call it the what is it? The United UFL? I forgot what it's called. I think it's called the United Football League, something like that now. They merged. They are playing right now, but the XFL's gone. They merged. It came back. They got rid of XFL, and then Dwayne Johnson and a bunch of other people decided to bring it back, and then the USFL, which apparently was still out. I didn't even know it was still running. Was also out there, and they ended up merging them. Yeah, they're running right now, and they're not called matches if they're football, American football. They're games. They don't do matches, and they don't play on the pitch. It's a field and games, not pitches and matches. Get your nomenclature right, man. It's not soccer. But hey, if you want some good soccer games out there, apparently there's some pretty good ones. Digital ones. Uh, well, I don't know if the only extreme league I knew of was the XFL, who used to play and do a lot more. They allowed a lot more play out of the players, but um, if it's something else, then I don't know what you're talking about. Fixed speed controller. Okay, so this used to allow. Okay. How do I trigger keyboard control in the fixed speed controller? I just hit play and my character currently does not trigger the states when I use keyboard controls. The Pixel Fold? I like the Pixel Fold. In fact, when it comes time for me to get a new phone, which right now my Galaxy 5 Fold is working great, but a couple of years, who knows if I can afford it, or if they have a deal again where I can get it for basically free again. Um, I have considered going with the Pixel because I like their folded state better. It's got a wider profile because the Samsung Galaxy Fold, great phone, but the the folded profile is super skinny, super skinny. It's like, and it's really kind of hard to use. I mean, you can look at it, it's great for checking your messages and stuff, but typing on it, doing anything on it is kind of a pain. It's just so thin. And when you open it, it's fine. I mean, it works great when it's open, but the fold phones are nice. Does Apple have any plans to create a foldable? Is that why? Because you're thinking of foldable. Foldables are nice because once I tell you, it's so. The other day I was helping my wife set up her new phone. She got a Galaxy S25. It's not a foldable, but it's a new one, and I kept wanting to open it. It was like, it's like I want to see more screen. I wanted to be able to, because a lot of apps will split and they'll let you see two things at once, and just more to it. There's so much more to see and get into, and it's weird to look at a regular phone for too long. I'm like, it just it seems so cramped. Yeah, I know you have an Android, an iPhone, but were you, like I said, do they have plans for a foldable? Honestly, I'd be surprised at this point if they don't, because foldable phones are becoming, people are liking them. Now the biggest problem, and plus, iPhone or Apple loves to make super expensive devices. I mean, a foldable phone from Apple would probably cost like 2 grand. So they would, because Galaxy's fold MSRP is typically around 1600 bucks. Now I didn't pay that much for mine, but you know, because they always have deals. Oh, there you go, 1700. Yeah. But can you imagine an iPhone foldable? Easily 2 grand. They would charge 2 grand. Apple charge everything at the same point is usually $300 more from Apple. You buy every same level device from Apple versus like say Galaxy, a Samsung device, and you're gonna pay 300 more for an Apple because Apple likes to make expensive stuff. And I don't even know that it's because it's a good product. It's just that they feel like, hey, we're Apple. Everybody will pay more to buy Apple because hey, we're Apple, and people who like iPhones are addicted. They're like, oh, hey man, we got an Apple. That's kind of the thing, right? So when Apple comes out with the foldable, they'll be talking about it like they invented it. They'll be like, the latest foldable technology with super high res, blah, and all this. And people will be like, ooh, Apple's making a foldable phone. It's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And Samsung's over here going, we're on like version 6, and ours does more than that one does. But no, no. Oh, Apple's got it, though. It's got to be better. It's like, no, it's not how it works. But it's Apple. It's like, yeah, I know. We passed Apple like 10 years ago. Apple's been second or even third on devices now for like 10 years. But nope, Apple people are hardcore, man. All right, let's see if this can fix my my thing for me here. Fixing keyboard control. Here's how to fix the keyboard control. Set accept external input to false to enable keyboard control. Oh. Wait. Set accept external input to false to enable keyboard controls? Huh? Accept external input. False. Make sure keyboard controls work by default. Okay. If Well, I want my external input to work, at least for now, until I, oh, there it is, start. At least until I can start plugging in my code, because this thing's going to be keyboard to work until input external or code control is set. Okay. Oh, I bet. Like most people who are in the Apple world are 100% in the Apple world. They're not. It's not half. You can't go half, right? It's kind of like Apple makes it so once you're in their, what is it? The in their world, the Apple world. You're that's not what the term is though. But once you're in that world, you don't. You're stuck. Because none of that, a lot of Apple stuff doesn't work on other devices. A lot of times people will make Apple products and they just make it for Apple. Where most people who make Windows or Android stuff will also recompile and build for Apple. Because those people um, aren't snobs. Not the users, the developers. I'm talking about. Yeah. It's like even the developers tend to be uh, Apple snobs. It's like, so yeah, I have a lot of family who's on Apple. I give them a hard time all the time. It says, so the latest tech wasn't, you're not interested in the latest tech anymore. It's like, oh no, they're way too full. They're way too ahead of the game. So let's go to Apple. I tease them, and they go, no, Apple's always the front edge, cutting edge. I'm like, but I have a lot of family who's on Apple. In fact, my my aunt and uncle converted my parents to Apple, and I was like, oh, you let them suck you in, huh? You let them suck you over to Apple. It's like, can't believe it. You let them get you in there, and once you're in their domain, there's no getting out. And what bugs me about Apple is they do a lot of things like um, they like to make everything proprietary. And did you know that how they always used to have their own special cords for phones? The only reason Apple finally switched to USB-C cords, was because the EU forced them to. The EU told them they would not be able to sell their devices in Europe if they did not switch to a standard cord. So you know what they did? Hey, Coding Turtle, football game using fantasy characters. I've been trying to learn my Unity side of things lately. So that's kind of what I've been working on. This is my little first test guy that I kind of wanted to. I have been working in Unity for all of 5 days now, so I'm just kind of getting guys to. It's kind of weird. Oh, I'm on the wrong buttons. That's why. Cool. Look at I can make him turn. Da 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 da. We'll just walk around the corners. Da, 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 da. I'm walking in circles. Ah! He didn't switch to running though. Oh, it's because I'm not in shift. Let's run. Yeah! Look at me go. Woo! He's kind of fun to play with. But I got to, obviously I'll have to have a lot more guys in the field. And right now there is the possibility that I have to go with regular people, or at least only one or two guys at first, because the models and creating the models for all these characters is challenging to say the least. And that means I'll have to create wire, what they call them, rigs for every player, because that's how you set up their movement. I've already got the back end developed, so this is going to have a lot of back end code. Okay, so because my game is going to be a football game, it's a simulation game though. So right now you see me controlling this guy, and you're not going to. Unfortunately, he's not going to be a controllable guy. Yeah, that's working pretty good right now. Because my game is going to be a sim, but it's going to be unlike a lot of the sims out there. It's going to have a lot of back end control as well as a decent looking simulation. So there's like two kinds of football games out there. There's the front end games where you've got a lot of control, like Madden, full control, everything, or what is that? The other one is called. There's a number of them. And then there's lesser control games like Retro Bowl or Super Tiny Football, which are on the Android, where you basically only control the quarterback. And I guess if you hand it off, you control the running back a little bit. A couple of basic moves, and that's it. Real basic front end, but or super high control aspects. Then you've got a lot of the management games out there, football management games, where you get to do in-depth salary. You can control scouting and drafts and leagues and careers, and they can have hundreds, if not thousands, of little fiddly bits of stats that you can functionally control. You hire all the different kinds of coaches and scouting teams and medical teams and whatever. But when they come to actually simulating the game after you've built the team, there's no scene. There's nothing. There's a bar that moves back and forth on the field to show who's moving. It might show you the play that's getting selected, and you might get some very basic stuff. But overall, nothing. No real sim. And then there's games like, there's only one that I know of that's a true simulation game of a decent looking game, and that's Big Win Football on the Android again. And I kind of like it. It's actually kind of fun. But it's got no real back end to it. There's no real management of players other than you collecting cards, because they do it by selling you cards, and the cards go into your team, and it's got a lot of paywalls for you to get your cards and all that fun stuff. And so if you like paywalls and you don't have a problem just throwing cash out to do stuff, then maybe that's your thing. So I finally decided, screw this, man. I want a good football game that I could play. Lets me have a good amount of management control. Like, I want to do drafts. I want salaries in there. I like the collectible aspects of some of those games where you can collect players. But what I don't like is the way paywalls are set up. Now, I'm planning to make my game a free-to-play, so I can get lots of people playing it, hopefully. But I want people to be able to play a la Marvel Snap, where you can just play. I love playing Marvel Snap, and I don't pay anything right now because I'm broke. So I don't pay anything. But when I was buying, now I buy a season pass here and there, $10 here, $10 there. It wasn't such a big deal. But you can play all the time. You never held up. You can play against the best of them if you want to. It just takes a while to get enough cards. But that's kind of what I want. I want my game to be able to be playable by everybody. Even though you're not controlling your people, you can build your team up. And since it's all built on the back end, you'll be able to do, you should look at, do I have it runnable? I could show you what it looks like, or not. I don't have UI stuff really, but I can kind of give you an idea of what my app looks like. I have to go in here first. Let's go here. This is my back end. So my back end is going to allow me to put this on multiple devices. So I want to build it for Android. That's what you see me doing for Unity. I also have it'll also be playable on the web. It won't be as much graphics, a lot less graphics I expect. But I'm hoping to get some basic stuff going. And you could just go from playing on the phone to playing on the web if you want to. And then eventually I'll recompile my Android app to run on PC. And then yes, I'll eventually compile it to run on Apple. But so I want people to be able to play, and then you can go sim a game. Like if you have other people in your league, real people in your league, you could theoretically play against those people, and you guys can pick your plays yourself. Now, you again, the game would run, and you just pick the plays. You get to be the coach. But my game allows you to have high control over your game plan, so you can actually go in and define how you want your team to play. How you want your team to play during the simulations. So I'm just gonna run this. But yeah, I'm hoping. How now? The common question at this point is, how long is it going to take? When's it coming out? Honestly, I don't know. The UI part's going to take me a long time. I just started it. It didn't take me too long to get a working dude on there, which is cool. And I've already got the back end set up so that the simulation format is going to be available. So I can create a dummy format, give it to the front end, and start trying to implement that. Everybody keeps telling me, in fact, really good games, on the average, take 3 to 4 years with with decent graphics. So there's a guy who's been following me. He goes by the name B.O. It's got a lot of letters. And he actually works for a company that has like 6 people in it or so working on a football game. And it's called Super Tiny Football. You should check it out. If you ever played Retro Bowl, it's kind of like Retro Bowl with more modern graphics. It's not 8-bit graphics. It actually looks pretty good. But again, it's a lot of paywalls, a lot of pay stuff to get your cards and get your players and stuff. And honestly, I think the running game is a little better in Retro Bowl, but overall, the game is very similar to Retro Bowl. And neither one of them have a lot of back end stuff. But I've played Retro Bowl. It's not terrible, but there's no defensive side of the ball. I mean, you don't control. You do add defensive players. You only get like 10 players on your team, so half of those are defense, half of those are offense, and that's it. And if you pay money, you can make it to 12. So it's not a lot. And then you can also raise the salary cap by paying money, so you can get more expensive players on your team. Again, so there it's kind of got its own paywalls to keep you from doing it. And I don't want that. I really want to try to provide enough stuff that I can get paid, but I don't want to break the game. I want people to be able to play the game, and that's my goal. So first things first, get the game stuff in there, and hopefully I can start putting enough pay options on there to allow people to maybe play more, like maybe have an extra team, or add, enhance their collection. They can buy more cards that they can collect and build, and the cards will do things and get little perks. And it's going to be real close to real football. I mean, I want to have the game be simulatable all the way down to 15-minute quarters, like Big Win Football. Now, Big Win Football kind of cheats it, though. But it feels better. I like the way they do it almost more than the way a lot of these games do it. A lot of games will use real time, but you only have like 2-minute quarters. A lot of the Android games and the simulation games that I've seen, they have like 2-minute quarters, and they just play it out, for 2 minutes, because scores happen quickly. The way Big Win Football does it, you get 15-minute quarters, except the clock moves really fast. It's just like, I mean, normally a play is like 6 seconds, but on Big Win Football, it's probably like 30 seconds. And so you only get like a third of the amount of plays in there. So it's kind of a trick. I didn't realize it. I thought it was just playing fast because it was cutting out all the the chaff of football. But then I started watching the clock the other day, and I was like, oh, that's how they're getting this done in 10 minutes. They're just flying through clock time. But it just felt like a real game because you played for 15 minutes, theoretically. It's really more like playing like 3 minutes. But I really like Big Win Football. It's the best looking game sim, full sim, where you don't control anything of all the games I've seen so far. Where you have no control, but you have a nice looking sim. And you have control in that you get to pick, like the game plan is you picking 3 cards that have an effect on how the game plays. That's your game plan. It's pretty mediocre. Oh yeah, and you also get to pick whether or not you're going to be run oriented or pass oriented on offense and defense, or balanced. Very rudimentary. My game has game plans in there, and you get to pick specific plays in your game plan and play types. So if you don't want to do a play, you might run more. Yeah, and the other thing is that simulating one game, Football Head Coach 25 on Android. They kind of do sims kind of cool too. It's not, there's no players on the field really. I mean, it's a card game like a lot of them. You get cards. And then when you're playing, every play has, like, the quarterback card will show up, and then they'll show the receiver who got the ball. It's just the card pops up where the ball, at the point of the ball movement. So it's just like ball, 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 as it's moving down the field, and what players are involved, the key players, the main player. If you run and the guy runs and the ball moves and the card for that player pops up. Now I want to do that. I want to have cards pop up for the players. That's because there's a collectible aspect. But so you'll have your players on the field doing their thing, and then every now and then a highlight card will pop up and say, so and so has run for so many yards, blah blah blah, and say it's to be cards from your collection. And if your collection's starting to improve in appearance or have extra things on it, then it'll have those things will show up in the card. But yeah, I want to be able to do something maybe like Football Head Coach does, where you could sim through the game a little quicker. Like, maybe, here's the deal. This is one of the features that my game's going to have, right? So if you're doing a fast sim, it's maybe because you want to watch the replay. So you want to see some stuff. Like, the game will run like the game runs. And I'm going to try to have it run. Maybe if nobody's watching the game, it'll simulate a little faster. But, and maybe one suggestion was, and do it like Watcher of Realms, like maybe if people pay, they can have the game run a little quicker. If it's a game where there's no other people involved. Okay, so like if you're in a league with real players, you can't sim a game with a league with real players unless they're ready. They got to tweak it, do their game plan, blah blah blah. So we can't force. I can't allow you to just go sim in a league with other players, because the other players might not be ready. And so maybe I'll do something like, if you say ready, you can set a game ready, and then if the other person sets it ready, the game will sim. And then what I want to do is have the game run. Since it runs on the background, if you don't have the game open, it can run at its normal speed, and it'll send you notifications. Your team has scored 7 points, or whatever the name of the team has scored 7 points. Their lead is currently blah, or they're losing by blah, or whatever. But you get these notifications if you want them. Obviously, people don't want their notifications. They can turn them off, whatever. But it's kind of like the game's running in the background, like I do with my the Broncos, right, when they're playing during the season. It'd be like, the Broncos, I get updates. So even if I'm not watching the game, I get updates and get to see my game running, which is fun. And I kind of want the simulations to do stuff like that. Additionally, you could even have updates on the league. You could say, like, what teams, like maybe division rivals, you could set it, and it'll say such and such team has, defeated so and so, or they're leading by so and so, or you can get, adjust the updates and get notifications, just like you've created your own little NFL update system, and it'll update you in the games how they're running. And one of the reasons I want to have I want to have this on a side view. How come I got to figure out how to change the camera during play here. I think it's these displays, but I don't think I have them set yet. See, there's no camera to set up. But okay, so with the players playing, which I'll probably change the angle. This one's not high enough, I don't think. I want a better angle on this. But back here, I want to have it be a scoreboard, kind of like most leagues. And then you'll have underneath it will be like the stadium where the fans are. And then the scoreboard will sit up here. And every now and then, I want to have it do things like show scores of other games. Like I'll have a ticker down here, like you see in the when you watch TV. That's just kind of showing you how other games are running. Because what I want to do is have a league sim at the same time, and you get updates during the game, or when the game sim, it stores them, and while your game is running, it'll act like the games are still live because it'll show you certain parts of the game that came from same points in the game. That's a lot of the stuff I'm going to be doing. That's the stuff I'm going to do. I mean, like, I'm going to enjoy programming that. I know I can do it. It's just a matter of getting it in there. But it's the UI stuff. I got to get a basic functional UI so that we can, it can work. Lots of big plans. And that's why I'm thinking earliest I have anything. So, okay, so its game is running. What did you say? Click the camera game object in the hierarchy and change, this? I don't think I've plugged my cameras in. Game object in the hierarchy. Oh. And change the transform. Yeah, see, okay, I've been working in Unity for all of like 5 days now, 4 days, and I haven't gotten most of this stuff down. So you said change the transform. Well, this is the game window. But yeah, I don't think my cameras are set up. I mean, they're set up, but they're not plugged in. I don't have them. I was thinking I have to adjust these displays, but I don't know how to set those yet. Because all of them say there's no camera on them, which, oh, can I like set these to the camera? Maybe I set these to one of the displays. Oh, let's try this. Untag, make camera, game controller. Render type, perspective, vertical. Yeah, Unity's transform is the inspector on the right. It says position when you select the camera. Oh. Yeah, oh, I see what you're saying right here. Yeah, well, I have 4 cameras set up to be in the angles I want them. But I'd rather swap between them rather than changing the settings of the transform. I don't know. Display 2, no cameras rendering. I don't know how to do this. I'll figure it out. Like I said, I've only been working at this for a short period of time. Let's see, okay. How do I change to a different camera view during runtime. During game camera view in game view. Also, how do I set the display 2, 3, etc. So I can toggle. Probably have to stop it. I'm thinking I have to stop it and set them up, because these don't do anything. They don't even give you a display 2, no cameras. So I got to set the display. See, there's got to be a way to. So I stopped it. And how do I set this? Scale free aspect game. Game 2. Well, I have these. Oh, I don't know. Do I need to do it controllably? Doesn't everything have to be code? Just tell me how to do it in the UI. Everything doesn't have to be in the UI. Of course, I probably want the control because I've been building the code up to support my backend devices, my backend data. However, you know, there's UI stuff. Oh, well, maybe I do need to do this then. See, when you click on here, there's like all these displays, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but you can see none of them do anything. If I go to 1, that one's the one there, but there's that one. Display 2, no cameras rendering. I would think I could like set this to be one of the displays, but put it on display 2. That seemed like the most logical thing. But this is not main camera. I need to, can I add a tag? Oh, add tag. Oh. Oh, I have to, tag's another asset? Jeez. Everything's an asset in this thing. So I have to create, do I even have a, is there anything that's not an asset in this game? Just new tag name. We'll call it, what do I call this? End zone. Visitor? A visitor end zone? I think it's visitor. Visitor end zone. Camera. How about end zone camera? Because it doesn't matter if it's visitor or home. I'm just. And then I go back over here. I change this to end zone camera 1. I mean, I'm just changing the tag. I don't know what good that's going to do me. I still don't know how to set this. It's got 8 displays. You think you could just set the settings of one. Output. Oh, target display. There we go. Look at that. Oh, that's the one. Yeah. Found it. Woohoo. There's the one. That's the visitor end zone. And then we got... wait, we gotta go. So this is 1. That is my main camera. And this is 2. That's the end zone camera. I should probably change this to camera 1 so I... Oh, that's not sideline camera. This is end zone camera. End zone camera 1. I'm going to put 1 on the end. And I'm going to change this from visitor to end zone camera. Because I think it just makes more sense. I don't care if it's I don't know which side is visitor and home half the time anyway. So just have one on the north, one camera on one end zone and one on the other. Two, okay. And then I'm going to create a tag. We'll call this one, what is that one? Tag, this is going to be called end zone camera 2. And then we'll go back over here and we'll rename this guy to end zone camera 2. I'm going to change the tag to end zone camera 2. We're going to go down to output and we're going to say 3. Oops, why didn't that change? Okay. Well, it's supposed to be green. It actually has texture on it. But I haven't figured out why my football's not turning green. Well, that's the football field. That's not the football. But I have it has a material on it that is, see this, I think it's this one, yeah. See, this football has, it has this football A texture on it. But it's not working. I don't know why. I haven't quite figured that one out yet. I'm waiting for it to magically appear, like it did with my skin on my guy. My guy had a texture. I had it all set. I went through and I manually set it and did all the things, and it just refused to work. And then all of a sudden, it was just there. So I'm hoping it'll do the same thing. But once I get this on there, it should look like a football. I did download it from a football. I mean, it's the full setup 3D model. But yeah, I don't have a... Are you on URP? No, I don't know if it is a URP. What is it? I don't remember. Let's see what the football... No, right now it's using a standard. It's doing standard right now. Think I should change it to universal render? I don't even know which one to use. What would I use? 2D? No, it's a 3D object, so... Simple lit, nature, lit, complex? I don't know. But it always, every time I ask, it says either do it in standard or URP. So it came in as standard, so I used it as standard. Do you think I should try lit? I mean, I'll try it. Nothing else works. So, you know, I'm up for trying anything. When stuff ain't working, it's like, well, there's no disadvantage to trying, right? Dude, it turned it into a soccer ball. What? Oh no, is this one of those? Oh, it's supposed to be a... Wait a minute. For one, that's not even a soccer ball. Oh no, never mind. That's not a soccer ball. That's just a round representation. Although it is black and white. Why is it black and white? It's supposed to be this color. How did that end up being black and white? Hey, the albedo thing went away though. Base map. Let's try this. Oh, it looks... Well, it applied. It shows up there looking like that now. But I don't think that's... well, at least it's not purple anymore. And it's not doing anything to my... Oh, what? Now my football... What is the deal? Now oh, it's because I have it selected. That looks totally weird. It's not... I don't know that that's... It's not better. It's still purple. I'm curious. I didn't even, I didn't even think about it, but football, America. I don't know what these colors are supposed to be. I don't know what oh, that's mono, and that's what, whatever the heck, texture 2D. I don't know. This is the one I want though. Texture shape. If I change it to 3D. I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking at here. I'll get it. It'll magically appear on one of these things. At some point I'll click on it and it'll be like, hey, it works. Alright, so camera 2, did I set it to display 3? And then I got camera 1 set to 2, and I got my main camera's display 1. So this one's got to be 4. So we'll say that one's going to be 4. And then that's fine. I guess I can call, we'll just create a new tag for that one too, I guess. Add tag. We'll call it, we'll call this one visitor. Visitor sideline camera. Over here. Change this to visitor sideline camera. And then we'll run my game. And then we'll change to 3. Look at that. I can do it now. 4. And 1. I don't know why that field turns so much more green when I'm on primary camera. Oh, it's not running. Now, if only my football was brown like it's supposed to be. I'm gonna get that football first if I could just find my way to it. Wait, maybe if I go the other way. Oops, I'm going backwards. I don't have a backwards turnaround option. I gotta figure out how to turn my guy around. All right, I'll do that one later. But it's all right. Eventually, it won't even be played because all this stuff is going to be controllable from the code. The code's going to decide when he moves. I'm just trying to make sure he does move. So while I have it, what I'm going to be doing, one of the things I started doing yesterday was building my the code base to allow me to put like 12 guys on the field. I haven't done that yet. I'm actually thinking I want to do that next. Just putting them on the field. Now, I'm probably only going to start plugging in like one guy at a time. Let's make this guy code control move. And then we'll say, all right, let's try doing 2 guys. Code control move 2 of them. And then slowly just kind of start plugging them all in onto the field. And right now, I'm just going to be plugging them onto the field. I don't know yet how I'm going to... there's a lot of little things I want to do in my head, but I don't know how much they're going to add to time and actual coding. So it's kind of like, let's get them in place first, and then we'll work on that, you know. So the question is, so I got the cameras kind of working the way I wanted to. I mean, it gave me this. I wonder if I should use this. It gave me the code to do a camera manager, which is going to give me a UI control, which I should probably keep. Because I'm sorry, not UI, but AI or programmatic control. And I'm probably going to want that. So let's go here and we'll just create a new item. We're going to call that one camera control. Camera control. .cs. A lot of this, so much of this is just going to have to be revamped because there's going to come a point where so you go by the name Coding Turtle. So you're obviously a coder of some kind. What do you develop in? Are you a Unity guy? Are you, because you seem to know a little bit about Unity. You know more than me because you're calling out things. It's like, oh, you're an expert, even though all you did is mention a couple of the shader types and I'm over there, what is that again? I was like, you want to? It's supposed to be a brown football, by the way. I don't know why I said green. It's because I was looking at my football field object at the time. This is the material for my field, which is green. It's actually a brown football. So this is just not the football's coloring. I still got to figure out why this is being a jerk, though. Where is my materials for my football? See, these are all like messed up. But this one at least has something plugged into it. If I could see it appear, that would be awesome. Why isn't that not working? If I go straight on there again. Oh! Look at that. I got a brown football. See? It just magically appears. I dragged up there like 15 times already, and this is the first time it did something. I've got a football! Look at that. I mean, now I can run around a football. Let's go run around an actual football. My football's got color. Oh, wait. What are you doing? Oh, it's just re-rendering crap. I'm sure that'll appear, right? Yeah, there we go. Yay! We're celebrating. Woo! We're gonna run backwards around the football. You know, this is one of the things about being a coder, right? A developer. You can enjoy the little things because you realize it took work to get here. You know, nobody out there in the right mind would enjoy doing what I'm doing right here, just playing with this guy running in circles, because they don't understand that it took effort to get to that point. And once you're at that point, you're like, yeah, I can play with him. I can run backwards and forwards, and because it took a long time to get this dude built, modeled, animated. Even though I didn't actually do a lot of it. I mean, I was working with AI a lot, you know, different tools and stuff out there to do it. It still takes time, and you still gotta, it doesn't get it right every time, so you've got to have it try again and rebuild and retry and pull it in, and then you gotta, and then when you don't know Unity, it's not just drop them in there and everything works. It's drop them in there and figure out all the settings and the pieces and the parts, and you know, you spend time learning Unity, and so to me, it's a big accomplishment. Now I've got me a real football in the field, and then I just got to start figuring out things like, I know you can like attach an object to his hand and have him run around with the football. I should do that next. That would be fun. But there's only so much I want to do in the basic UI, because I got to start plugging stuff in the, because a lot of this is going to be going through code, right? So just having the guy on the field, having something that works and displays correctly is the first part of everything. And then I can start plugging in code to start doing stuff. So one of the things I think I might want to do is create a progress log just for that guy and have him, and see if I can get the renderer to read through that, start doing code stuff, and have him move according to that. Now, what I'm probably going to do is attach the sideline camera to the ball, because I want, when the ball moves, I want the camera to move with it. So all the cameras are going to be attached to the ball, and they're going to have a certain perspective on the ball. So even though I'll have two end zone cameras and two sideline cameras, when the ball's moving, they're going to follow the ball around, and they're going to keep a certain amount of the field in the screen at all times. So wherever the ball's at, the field's going to have to adjust to the ball's position so that it looks like it's the ball moving, right? So that's what my objective is. So I can make the field move based on the position of the ball. How that works, I don't know yet, but we'll get there. It all seems pretty logical to me in my head, so I don't see any reason why. And a lot of it's going to be done by code. But hey, you know, one thing at a time. What I want to do is put 12 guys on the field just because or 22 guys in the field, just so I can see how they look, you know, see how it positions, kind of get a feel for how much field I want to be on the screen at one time. And I don't know if he's too big. He might be a little big for the scene, to be honest. I didn't realize I was maxed out. Well, guys, I hate to do it, but I have to log off for a bit. And I have to go DoorDash. Hate it, hate it, hate it. But I need to contribute in whatever way I can at this time of unemployment. So I gotta go make $7 to $12 an hour, depending on how lucky I am. And I only do it for a couple of hours. But afterwards, my wife and I are going to go see a movie. So I'll probably be back on. I'm on every day, multiple times, 2 to 3 times. And I'm also working on this a lot when I'm not online. So I am not just streaming it, but at least you get a feel for how my progress is going as I start attaching stuff. I'm looking forward to when I can start attaching actual backend to Unity. That's my next kind of cool thing I want to do. My first call to the backend to get data from my services into Unity and having Unity render whatever I'm doing. That'll be kind of a cool next step. I would like to once I can start doing some basic rendering, start getting some screens. I also have the React screen, which I know I said I was going to start and show you this, but I got distracted because I do that. That's one of the things you're going to learn about me the hard way. You're going to find out that I get distracted when I'm streaming. But let's see if this is going to show me anything. I'm pretty sure I already have this running. I'm going to start my dash here in a minute. I only live a couple miles away from foodstuffs, and I'm ready to go. So I usually will just turn the dash on, and then I just run out the door. Go if they give me anything. It takes them a long time to give me anything. I'm not one of their elite dashers, by the way. So that did I not? All right, so we got football. So this one, okay. Let's go to Git Bash. We'll say npm run dev, and I'll show you what I've got, assuming it's all good. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be. I haven't broken anything recently. So like I said, this is kind of set up in a fantasy design. That's the objective. So you can kind of see it here. This is the main page. I'll put it up here for now. So it's going to show up twice on the screen now. But all right, so I've been putting notes on here, but I haven't put any new notes on here in a long time. So I got my login screen. I think it should log in okay. I don't know why it takes me to the home page here somehow. So not everything is fully functional yet, but we're getting there. So when I go here, this is one of the features I've been building in. Let's see if is this streamer game. Now, this is a cool thing that it's basically going to be browser based only. This is a browser thing. But you, as a streamer, I could run a streamer game. And when I click this, I can set up commands. I don't know, what the heck is this error for? Oh, well, that's probably because I don't have a streamer key set up. That would probably be the reason for that. Let's see if my generate works. Is that going to do anything? Nope, so I'm getting errors. That's all right. That's not the point. I was just going to show you what it did. So what there is there's a command line that you can assign to chat commands. You know how like on chat you can say like hashtag game, not hashtag, bang game, exclamation point, and then set the game name or the tags or whatever. There's a bunch of commands you can use, but you can also create custom tags like in Nightbot, and I can assign the join URLs, which is usually something that's like the team and then sub and whatever other commands. There's going to be like, I think like 6 I think I have lined up for this. And so people in my chat, like right now, you guys would be able to, if I had the command set up, type in team, and then you could do one of two things. You can write the real name, the Broncos, the Bears, blah, blah, blah. Or you can put in their game name, which is going to be like the Scorned, the Giants, blah, blah, blah. You put one of those in, and it'll go and fetch that team. And if you use like the name, not actually use one of their names, it'll just get the basic team. It'll be like a generic team. If you put in your team, like if you have an account and you're running your own game, you could put in your team name, your team ID, and every team will have its own team ID. You'll put in your team ID and it'll recognize it for what it is. So you would go exclamation point team and put in your team ID, and it'll fill in one of these spots. And then after 3 minutes, it'll fill in the second spot, and then or someone else can submit a second team, and then the game will start simulating, and it'll use the standard games. But if you're using your team, it'll use your team's game plan and setup. So your team will be in the simulation. And then people can do things like sub in. They'll do a command that says sub in quarterback. And like what it'll do, like if Coding Turtle was to say sub in QB, whenever the quarterback throws the ball or it does some kind of an announcement about the quarterback, it'll say Coding Turtle throws the ball for 5 yards, or he throws an incompletion at 7 yards, or whatever. At the end of the game or during the game, I want to have like little updates. Coding Turtle's thrown for blah, 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 blah. What's actually happening in the back end is you're not actually in there. It's just your name is replacing the name of the character. But it's kind of a cool interaction with the game going on. But the game is still tracking Coding Turtle stats. So if you were to come back, this is assuming you have your own team in your own character in the game. Because, if you don't have a team, it has nothing to attach you to. But if you are in there, at the end of the game, it'll show you, Coding Turtle threw for, 15 times out of 20, out of 20 passes, got 150 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. But it'll keep it. So the next time you're doing that, hey, Max B6, how you doing, man? That's an interesting icon you got there. That's a different... oh, you're on Discord. Who's Max B6? I didn't even know I had it available to view on Discord. But anyway, so you'll be able to do things you'll even be able to call plays if you want to. So a person can do like I think it's D play or O play are the commands I'm creating. It doesn't matter. The commands you create are up to the streamer who's going to set them up. But they just use the URL, and that URL assigns to the command. You assign that to the command. And then whatever they are, one will allow you to say D play or offensive play, and then you say short or prevent defense or whatever. You prevent or run or pass or just something that's a generic play name. It wouldn't be that you could only put in a type because I don't think expecting people to put in a specific play name. I mean, I guess that might be okay, but not everybody's going to know those plays. So it allows you to actually all of my viewers, if I was one of those people with 1,000 viewers, they could all be calling plays and it'll run those plays on the screen as the next play that it runs. Now, of course, it's only going to take like so many, like the first one, but maybe I'll put in like, what do you call it? Delays to prevent people from, hogging it, allow other players to get stuff in there if they want to. But otherwise, if only one person's actually doing it or two people are doing it, then let them do it, But there'll be small delays, like 15-second delays or whatever, because every play runs really fast, right? So it's just a matter of getting those plays in. I think it'll be cool. It'll be a fun little thing that you can do. And the simulation will be sitting on the screen like this. Like I could put it in the corner of my stream view, and I could be playing whatever other game I want, or just talking or coding or whatever. But I'll have the football game running, and all of my viewers could input and be able to fiddle with the game, and it'll keep track of them. And if I did another game in a week or another day, if Coding Turtle were to inject himself into the game, it'll compile and it'll say 2 games, he's averaging this passing, that kind of stuff. It'll keep track of the stats because I'm going to keep track of all the stats. And I don't know how much that's going to take up in back end resources, but I want all stats. I'm going to keep track of as much as I can. I mean, obviously, can't do all stats because I don't even know what all the stats would be. But I'm keeping track of all the play history to the point of being able to track that numbers, summing them up and storing and keeping that. So yeah, I got a lot of big plans. Now I'm only 4 or 5 months into this thing, and I've done a ton of coding, got a lot of stuff down. I'm actually pretty surprised at how far I am, thanks to AI's assistance. AI is not the do-all. It can't code it all for you. I'm telling you, if you're any kind of a coder, what AI generates is helpful, but oftentimes you have to refinagle it. So especially when it comes to trying to create clean, functional code, it loses track too when your app gets big. And it's already telling me things like, I've been looking through your extensive code base and there's this and that and that. And I'm like, yeah, but you missed this and that and that. So you got to really stay on top of it. The more complex it gets, you got to help it focus on just worrying. I have to actually tell it, let's just work on this. These are the files you care about. Don't look at anything else because I don't want you getting distracted and messing up things. So anyway, so yeah, AI is super helpful. I think the big thing is it just writes code so much faster. And you don't have to worry about syntax errors like typos and junk like that. It does make mistakes because it forgets to put stuff in and references are missing and all kinds of other garbage. But it doesn't make the fat fingery errors. And just that in itself is so helpful. And I've learned a ton. I mean, when I started this app, I wrote all of my backend services, all 10 of them, in Go. Did you know, prior to December, I did not even know what Go, I didn't even know Go existed. I didn't know what Go was. I was a C# programmer. All of my life, I've been a C# programmer and SQL Server programmer. SQL and C#. I did a lot of coding in both. So yeah, the more concise you are, not concise. No, concise isn't the word. Verbose. You want to be verbose. You want to be very detailed on what you give it so that it can be correct. It's not like Google. Google, you want to be super concise. Because when you're Googling, if you don't give it very specifics, you're going to get all kinds of crap. With the AI, you want to be very specific, giving it all the little details that matter. Like especially at the beginning. When you're writing the code, you want to be able to tell it things like, I'm using this coding language, I'm doing this type of structure, I'm using these types of this architecture, I'm setting things up in a specific way. Uh, you want, especially like for me now, whenever I create new services, I got to tell it, model it after these services. I want it to be written and set up the same way because I don't want, because it'll keep, there's so many ways to write code. If you don't tell it what it's modeling, it'll write it and it'll be some new way. And you're like, why did you write it like this? This is totally different from everything I've done everywhere else. So you got to tell it all the little details. The more informative you are, the more useful it is. But if you give really simple requests, you're going to get really broad answers, and it's a problem because you find yourself redoing and restructuring. Yeah, it's a real problem sometimes. But yes, I know I said I was going to leave. I wanted to do one more quick this thing I want to show you. I do have it up still, didn't I? Oh, yeah, there it is. For the things that are actually still working, I don't know what's. I figured out what I disconnected. Okay, so these are the game plans right now. So I could set up game plans for offense and defense. Special teams ain't set up yet because it's not really special teams. If you think about it, special teams is offense and defense for most of it, right? You still have an offense and you still have a defense. Do you want to defend against a field goal? Well, in a certain situation, you will, because you'll expect a field goal. Or a fake field goal? Well, yeah, in a certain situation, you'll do a fake field goal. Same with offense. You'll call a field goal, or you'll punt, or you'll do those things. Those are all offense and defense. Yeah, they're special teams plays, but you're still doing them in certain situations. And that's what these are all called. These are all called situations. The special is really not special teams. It's like special situations, which is what do you want to do for coin toss? What do you want to do for, are you going to take off, receive or kick? What are you going to, like field or kickoffs? Are you going to go for offense? Are you going to go for an onside kick? Those are like special teams plays because they have special conditions. They're not like a normal play. Now, and then I have the playbook. Now, I'm going to show you something, but this might not be in this piece. The playbook will be there, but this won't be. So the plays is real. Okay, so I don't have the playbook set up yet because I'm still working on this. The play editor is not currently slated for release. It's pretty cool. It's not. It was working, but I broke some stuff and I haven't got a chance to get around to fixing it. But really, what this does is you select the formations. Yeah, see, it's not loading right now. But you open the formations, you pick one, it'll load up here, and then you can go through and assign all your players what they're going to do. I know, a lot of people would like to have the play editor. For one, it's not mobile device friendly. It requires a lot of real estate to be able to click and do all the stuff. So it's not really mobile device friendly. It probably could be if I really fiddled with it, but I don't know. The plays I have to vet them all. I'm gonna have to make sure any play that's submitted can work, and I'm just really using it to build my plays. And the reason I'm using it, or I built it in the first place, was so that the plays can programmatically be defined in the system, because they're going to be read by the simulator that's going to have to read where all the players are and what they're doing and all the stuff that they're functioning against. And I want to be able to, by having that programmatically defined in the system, it'll be easier for my simulator to read the settings that have been set up and execute them for the play. So I did not start my dash. I'm going to have to start my dash. Actually, you know what? I'm going to sign off. I will be back. I'm back a lot. I'm usually back in the evenings for an hour or two. And when I'm not gone in the afternoons, like I'm going to be today, I'm usually on again around 2 or so after I finished my dashing. Till next time, guys. Hey, it was cool seeing some new faces or new chatters. I don't know which person of you is Max B6 or if that's his own person. I don't know. But till next time.